Hey guys, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I hope everybody is doing great. So, all week we're going to be talking about vision. And one of the most important things as it relates to vision is the ability to see your own self worth, your ability to have confidence in yourself, your ability to not only love yourself, but learn how to love yourself first. And so if you see the quote today, it says, not everyone is going to love you back. That's why it's important for you to love yourself. Us were taught that it's okay, hey Cindy, for us to put everybody in front of ourselves. But I'm going to be honest, I've been doing it for a long time and I'm tired of doing it. Hey Kiara. So today I want to make sure, hey Live Life Love, hey Eagle Takeoff. Today I want to make sure that each of you, hey Diane, thank you guys for sharing and thanks for sharing the scope. Hey Alto V's, realize that there is nothing, hey Rosa, more important than your ability to love yourself and put yourself first, if not all the time, at least sometimes. How many of you have been guilty of, hey sis, putting everyone before you put yourself? Somebody say me. And we're going to talk about how that's detrimental to your vision. Because at some point, if you don't put yourself first, hey Becky, you're not going to ever, let me be clear. You're not going to ever build your vision. Because, hey Victoria, I haven't seen you in here in a while. Because somebody, somewhere, is going to always need something from you. I want to just get this right now. Somebody, somewhere, hey Tam, is going to always need something from you. So if you don't find a way to put yourself first, you're going to always be behind the 8 ball as it relates to building your dream. Now let's get it right. It's okay to serve. I'm not saying don't serve your husband. Don't, hey Christy, don't serve your kids. I'm not saying don't serve your man. I'm not saying don't serve. I'm not saying that. Hey Yolanda, but at some point I am saying that you must put yourself on the list. Hey Keita, on the list. And the bottom line is that's right, Dizzy. I serve, but I'm not a servant. So if you don't put yourself on the list, what's going to happen is you're not going to build your dream. You're not going to build your vision. Everybody else's vision is going to be more important than yours. I might hurt some of y'all. I might hurt some of y'all today, but if you want me to keep going, I'll keep going. If you just say keep going, keep going. If you want me to keep going, make sure you share the scope because I'm going to put you in a drawing to win a copy of my book, and a lucky person is going to win a one-on-one with me. If you want me to keep going, just say keep going. I'm going to keep going. It might hurt your feelings.
On the street outside.
But just tell me keep going. Some of you, hey Shalonda, have not forgiven yourself for whatever foolishness went on in the past. And you still running around hurt. And because you're still running around hurt, you still running around living in the past, you still running around judging yourself, you still running around not forgiving yourself, you can't act on your vision of the future because you still stuck in the past. Somebody type in stuck. I'm going to be honest with you. On that list of excuses we talked about earlier, here were some of them that let you know you still stuck. If it was meant to be, it would have happened by now. Oh, I'm too old. I don't have enough talent. Wait a minute now. I'm not smart enough. I'm not knowledgeable enough. Nope, I'm too thin. I'm too fat. Nobody's going to listen to me. See, all of that right there is the reason you're stuck. Oh, I told you, Educator 9, y'all gave me permission to go there. You gave me permission to go there. You're making so many excuses that you remain stuck. And until you forgive yourself, until you get out of the past, until you realize some of those mistakes you made them to teach. They were supposed to teach you something. Now y'all gave me permission. You don't open the door. I'm finna go there again. Is it okay for me to go there? I'm just asking permission. I don't want to lose no followers. Somebody say it's okay. Good morning, good evening, J Radiance. Somebody say, all right now. Rochelle, I'll be thinking on y'all, I'm telling you. Can I keep going? Somebody say keep going. Thank you, Castle V. I got security in the room now. Keep going, okay? Some of y'all, I ain't gonna call no names, but some of y'all, hey Fashawn, hey Cindy Renee, thank you, Diane. I'm gonna keep going. Keep going through the same thing over and over because you haven't forgiven yourself for the first time you messed it up. Ooh. I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna say that again for the cheap seats. You keep getting that same foolish man. You keep getting that same job that ain't paying you nothing. You keep running through these business ideas. Ain't none of them working. I'm gonna say it again for the cheap seats. Some of yous and YOU apostrophe SE is going through the same things over and over because you ain't fixed them bumps in the road from the last time. And so until you fix your faulty thinking, right, Castle V, UZZZ, until you fix your faulty thinking, until you fix here's what doctors say. They say, don't treat the symptoms, treat the cause. So if I go to the pharmacy, now this is going to get deep. If I go to the pharmacy and I tell the pharmacist I'm sneezing and they give me something for sneezing and they don't give me something for the allergies that's causing me to sneeze, guess what? It's not going to help me. It is just a temporary fix. Some of you are putting Band-Aids on bullet wounds. Yeah. Some of you are putting Band-Aids on knife wounds. Some of you, right, J Radiance, patching up stuff that need to have surgery on it. I'm just being honest with you today. Hey, Shelly, y'all told me to be honest. You told me. And so the bottom line is that you're still bleeding out under the Band-Aid. And until you fix whatever the root of the problem is, you are going to continue to go through the same thing. And then this is what makes me mad. This is what makes me mad. When somebody offers to help you, fixed them bullet wounds and them stab wounds and that stuff you've been bleeding out for the last 1,000 years, when somebody offers to help you fix that, you don't want the help. I tell y'all all the time. Kiara said, where's Coretta? We need extra ushers. I tell y'all all the time. It does not have to be me that's your help. My sister Marquita Collins is launching a class tonight called Loving Me First. How many of you know for a fact that you are not loving yourself first? Raise your hand. How many of you know for a fact, raise your hand, that you're putting everybody and anything and everybody ahead of you, ahead of your dreams, ahead of your vision? Say me. Say me, because I know it's some of you. I know it is some of you. And guess what? It's a habit, and it's a bad habit. It is a horrible habit. It is a horrible habit. And so my sister Marquita is a life coach. And she's doing a class tonight called Loving Me First. And Dawn, guess what? You're going to keep dying inside and out till you get some help. I done told y'all a long time ago, I'm not your help for everything. If Marquita is over there helping you patch the stab wounds and the bullet wounds and do that hard work, that stuff that is messing you up on the inside, when you gonna go get help? Because if you don't go get help, it's not gonna go anywhere. And I mean that. Go to the link. I'm gonna challenge you. Go to the link bit.ly/lovingmefirst. The class starts tonight. The class is 33. Somebody type in 33, please. Somebody type in 33, please. Somebody type in 33, please. Because I'm going to make a connection for you. The class is $33 a week. 7 days in a week. 7 times 5 is 35. So for $5 a day, you can fix your foolishness. You can learn how to make yourself a priority. You can learn how to do the work. Hey, Magdalene, you can learn how to get deep and finally forgive yourself. Finally move yourself from stuck to started. Fix your foolishness. Some of y'all are going, how much longer? How much longer? Stop saying, hey, Priscilla, hey, Christy, that I don't have the money. You have $5 a day. You do. You do. At what point are you going to be important enough for you? I was talking to one of my partners. Do y'all mind if I share a dream with you guys? Do you mind if I share a dream with y'all? Somebody say share. Do you mind if I tell you a story about a dream of mine? Kind of, sort of. Y'all don't mind? I appreciate that. Thank you. I want to make sure I'm telling you stuff you want to hear. That's all. Just say story time. Y'all know, old school know, story time. I want to do a documentary on the plight of women, right? For those of you who don't know, women do 3/4 of the world's work, but we only receive 10% of the world's wealth, and we only have 1% of the world's land. I'm here to tell y'all some real facts. Women are caregivers to 87% of the world. Let me tell you what that means. That means we care for the children and we care for the aging. Women do. We do. But women also make up the majority of people in poverty. Women also make up the majority of people that are homeless. Women also make up the majority of the people that are starving, the majority of the people that need clothes. We are number one as it relates to the poverty index. If you look at any metrics that has anything to do with money and poverty, women, regardless as to what race, what nationality, what socioeconomic demographic you want to throw at me, women are at the bottom. Let me tell you something. The bottom line is that if you don't do something to learn how to put yourself first, you're going to continue to struggle. I mean it. It is so serious for me. I want to do a documentary so that women understand. Yeah, it all boils down to, this is why I do what I do. I do what I do because you have the power to heal yourself financially. You have the power to heal yourself psychologically. You have the power to heal yourself emotionally. You have the power. You do. But that power has been beat down That power has been usurped. That power has been tapped into. That power has been run amok and run over. That power has been bamboozled. That power has been led astray. That power has been misdirected. And as a result, you've forgotten how powerful you are. You've forgotten. The world hasn't forgotten. Thank you, Sugar Sweet. The world hasn't forgotten. You've forgotten. And you's tired. Hey, Ree. And you's been through a lot. And I's understand. Because I's tired too. And I's been through a lot. And all my life, I had to fight. If you's tired, say I's tired, Coach. Just say I's tired. So that means we got to start doing something different. If what you're working is not working, and I think Nikita talked about this last night, if what you're doing is not working, I's tired, y'all. How my life. I'm saying, Don, I's tired. That used to be my word, Jennifer. That used to be my word. And I promise you, people would ask me, how are you? And the first word that came out my mouth, thank you, Yusuf, was exhausted. Hey, Brina. People would ask me, how are you? And the first word, I literally had to be deliberate about purging the word exhausted out of my vocabulary. Because people would ask me, how are you? And I would say exhausted. And I meant it from my core. I meant it from as deep inside of me that as you can look. And you know, when I tell the story, I tell the story from a woman's point of view because that's who I am. See, I can't tell a story from a man's point of view. I just know that after my divorce, if I had to pay the bills, it was on me. And I just knew that from a woman's point of view, that if I had to take the kids to the doctor, it was on me. And I had to go to work and still figure out how to take this child to this practice and then pick this child up and drop this child off and then pick this child up and then get them dinner and then still get them to bed and then still have work to do. And so I was very tired. I was very tired. And so I started finding a way through. See, that's what God will do if you will listen and you will look. And I started finding ways to put myself first and to not be as tired. And even when I left corporate America, I was working for myself, but I was still working amazingly hard. I was still working amazingly long hours, and I was still working an amazing amount. And one day I thought to myself, after being in my home office for 12 hours in a row and walking into, thank you, Rita, walking into my bedroom as if I had been at a factory somewhere. And I thought to myself, I can't keep doing this. All my life, I've had to fight. And I was tired. And I need to do something different. So today I come to you and I tell you, many of you need to do something different. And what that different looks like, I'm not sure. But you've got to find a way to put yourself first. So when I tell you, I know about a class going on that's going to help you get rid of some of the junk. See, listen, it's not that my days are going to be any less. But at some point, I've got to put down some of the baggage. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? The baggage that I carry makes me even more tired. So at some point, I've got to put down the baggage so that I can carry my destiny. I've got to put down the baggage so that I can move a little lighter on my feet. I've got to put down the baggage so that I'm not as defensive. I've got to set the baggage down so that I can move a little more fleetly. I got to put the baggage down. And that's what Marquita's class is going to help you do. It's going to help you put the baggage down. Go to bit.ly/loving me first and get some help. This ain't even about you signing up for my class. Hey, good evening, Chastity. This is about you getting some help. Because I see too many of y'all coming through here and you look like I used to look. How do I know you so well? Because you used to be me. Don't let $5 a day. Don't sit there and overthink it. Go sign up now. Don't sit there and think, should I sign up for this? You know if you're carrying baggage or not. Don't let $5 a day be the reason that you don't change your life. See, sometimes, and I remember there was this book called The Last Lecture by a guy named Randy Pausch. And Randy had, I want to say he had liver cancer. And his children, he had 3 small children, they weren't going to live, he wasn't going to live long enough for his children to remember him. So he wrote a book called The Last Lecture. If you ever get an opportunity to read it, very good book. Y'all know I stay reading. And in that book, he talked about there are things that just are designed to keep you out, right? Not for good, just to slow you down. We all have obstacles. The question becomes, are you going to push past the obstacle or are you going to give up? Team Red Cup on deck. Are you going to push past the obstacles? Are you going to move past the obstacles? Or are you going to stay where you are? I told y'all the story this morning of the lady that called me and said, I haven't talked to you in a year. I've been trying to get in touch with you. And when she started talking, it sounded like the same story from last year. And when I called her out on it, she wanted to say I was talking down to her. But what I told her was, you've been through a lot in a year. I've been through a lot in a year. The difference between me and you is that I did not let that lot hold me back. And she tried to say, well, you don't know me and you don't know, you ain't walking in my shoes. I'm not, I'm walking in my shoes. And anybody that knows me will tell you for the last year, my shoes have been extremely tight. Extremely. So how dare you call me for help? And when I tell you not to let excuses get in your way, you want to go to Belligerent Boulevard on me? You want to go to Indigan Avenue? You want to go to Act the Fool Lane? How about I go to Hang Up Street? Hang up, block you, and move on about my day. Because you cannot call me from the same place you were last year and tell me you need my help. You don't. You need your own help. That's what I said, Patricia. It is a blessing that I called her back. Because I don't have to. One day she called me while I was on Facebook Live. I was like, did you call on accident? No, I've been trying to get in touch with you because, I still been going through this, that, and the other, and I want to know how to work with you. You don't want to know how to work with me. Because you can't even take this free coaching. So not only did I block your number, I blocked you on Facebook. I blocked your phone. I blocked your messages. Stop calling me with your foolishness, because the bottom line is that you was going through this last year. And then she said, you don't remember me, do you? Yes, I do, because unfortunately, I remember everybody I talked to. So I do remember you, and I do remember this time last year, your story was the same. When is your story going to change? When are you going to change your story? I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Ruben, I don't know. So my challenge to you today, yeah, girl, I told her that. Girl, Shelly, I told her that. And I wasn't even talking down to her. I was saying, like, look, you've gone through a lot. I've gone through a lot. We still have stuff to do. We still got work to do. You cannot let that quote unquote stuff be the reason. You cannot let your family be the reason you're still in the same place. You cannot let that job be the reason that you're not getting it done. You cannot let your kids, your man. I've been in the hospital. Yo, I've been in the hospital 3 times. I've been in the hospital 3 times in 6 months. 3 times. 6 months. 2 kids graduated from high school. Another one in the house with me. Mama bedridden. Man offshore. 3 times in 6 months. I've been in the hospital and still blowing it up like the World Trade Center. So no, I don't want to hear your excuses. Hey, Robin, I'm sorry. I don't want to hear why it's not working for you. That's not what coaches do. Coaches say, let's find another way around. Let's find another way through. You dragged them out, Caspi. Let's find another way to make it happen. Coaches don't sit there and feel sorry for you. If I can push and make it, can you push and make it? Yeah. So there's a guy on Periscope that said, there's a spider on your ceiling just now. And Castle V drug him out. And she said, I drug him out of the scope. She said, I hate spiders. How can you take care of you first without sacrificing them? Sometimes you may have to sacrifice somebody. Hello? You got to learn how to create boundaries. Hello? I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes you got to let folks go. One of my favorite movies of all time, and this is kind of morbid. So can I tell the story? Y'all say story time if I can tell the story. Y'all, I'm going to talk to you about boundaries. And it's kind of morbid, but it's a movie. I didn't make it up. And so there was a movie called The Bad Son. Y'all tell me, if you tell me you remember this movie, I know how old you are. It was a movie with Macaulay Culkin. Called The Bad Son. And they had adopted one little boy, and then they had a little boy. And the little, you wouldn't know, Kiara. You wouldn't know, Kiara. Y'all too young. Yeah, it's called The Good Son. The Good Son. The Good Son. And Macaulay Culkin was in the movie. And guess what? The little boy, they adopted one little boy, and he was a good boy. But the little boy they had was bad. He was real bad. But he was blaming everything on the other son. Right, Tarika, right? He was bad as H-E. He was evil. He was evil. It was called The Good Son. And at the very end, they're both falling off a cliff. And the mother had to make a decision as to who to save. The mother had to make a decision. She could not save them both. She could not. She had to choose whether to let the bad son go, which was her son, and or save the adopted boy, who was the good boy. And she let the bad boy go. I say that to say, some of us are going to have to make some decisions on what to let go. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Some of us, it may be our children that we have to, yep. Lila Holly, she's a veteran. She said sometimes there are going to be casualties. I know this is deep, and I know it's hard. It may be your kinfolks. It may be your man. It may be somebody around you that has to go in order for you to get to your next level. Oh, Shelly, you know I ain't letting you go. With me, it was my husband. It was my husband. I didn't know it. I thought that was the thing that was going to take me out. I'm going to just be brutally honest. I thought the marriage and being married for 16 years and then going through a divorce, I thought that was going to be my undoing. I did not realize that was the albatross around my neck, and once I let it go, I was going to be able to fly higher. I didn't realize that was dead weight. I didn't realize that was keeping me back. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. And I fought. This is another thing, y'all. Quit fighting to hold on to dead weight. Somebody say, ouch. Stop fighting to hold on to dead weight. Sometimes you may love that dead weight. Stop fighting to hold on to it. Those things that God is trying to take out of your life, let them go. And yes, it's going to hurt now. But what's going to really hurt is when you've tried so hard to hold on to it and then it lets you go. Let's talk about jobs real quick. Hey, Rasonda, let's talk about jobs. Some of y'all sometimes are begging and biting and scratching and screaming to hold on to a job, and then that job lets you go. I've gotten 2 calls today from 2 sisters. Hey, Cora, that said, my job let me go. And do you know what my answer was to both of them? I said, good. I said it was about time. I said God had to work it out. Sometimes God can be trying to remove stuff out of your life. And since you won't let it go, it ends up letting you go. Cora, is so deep right now. It is so deep right now. And that was just today, Cora. I got 2. I got 1 yesterday and the one the day before. And all I could say to them was, you're free now. You're free to do what God intended you to do. He wants you to work. He did not say get a job. He said go to work. And so it's sometimes you're going to either let go of it yourself, or he's going to find a way to free you. And I don't even know if it's him freeing you as much as it is that your grace has run out in that place. I'm going to get real deep with y'all right now. Let me show y'all how my mind works. When you needed that job, and that job was part of your destiny, for you to be an apprentice, for you to learn, for you to get whatever step on your way that was intended, then you had grace at that job. But once your lesson at that job was up, and see, you kept clinging to that job, but your grace was no longer at that job. Your grace was in your new business, or your grace was in that school you was going to. See, your grace had run out. See, that grace had run out on my relationship. The grace had run out on my job. Sometimes your grace, that's right, Letitia, sometimes your grace has just run out, and us being our human selves, we're clinging to it because it's familiar. I'm going to be honest, y'all. I'm going to throw one more brick and I'm going to get out of here. You might not even like it no more. You might not even like the job no more. You might not even be in love with the man no more. You might not even, and you still won't let it go because it's familiar. Man, I gave myself a headache today. If you didn't catch all of those blessings, sometimes it's time for you to go. Sometimes it's time for you to go. So my sister Marquita has a class tonight. You know what, Lindsay? I'm going to be 100% brutally honest. Lindsay's question was, shouldn't you wait for God to tell you to leave first? How many more times do he need to tell you to leave? I'm going to be brutally honest. Raise your hand if you knew for a fact you got a word from God that relationship was over. He sent you sign after sign after sign. That job, he told you time and time. People was dropping like flies around you. You got confirmation. You got sick. Things were happening. You knew for a fact your time in that place was up. How many more red flags do you need? It's been uncomfortable for years. It's been breaking your back for years. So yes, you should wait on God to tell you to go. But I guarantee you, he has told you so many times. And this is what I tell you guys. I said, stop waiting on burning bushes before you leave wherever you are. He don't send burning bushes no more. That was Old Testament. If you see a bush on fire, you need to call 911. He has told you. There is not a time. I was getting signs about my marriage for years. I was getting signs about my job for years. I was getting red flags. I was getting Morse code. I was getting smoke signals. I was getting, what other kind of messages? I was getting messages in a bottle. I got some messages tied to a pigeon's leg. What other kind of messages, y'all? I got so many messages. So many signs from God. Like literally, I would walk outside and it would be wrote in the cloud, time to leave your job. I got SOSs. I got so many signs from God. I got doves showing up with olive branches. I got crows sitting, a certain number of crows sitting on the line outside. I got so many. I got so many signs from God. So yeah, you should wait. Yeah. Reese said she got messages from the women he was cheating with. Whew. You said Tiffany said she in the amen corner so hard right now. So guys, I'm telling y'all, yeah, you should wait on a sign from God. The first one. But see, I know you. So I know he's not sent one. He sent 2. He sent 3. He sent 4. He sent 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He keeps sending them. It's a sign for somebody right now. You right, Minute with Marlo. Yeah, he even gives you dates. He even gives you date and times. He's a good God. Yeah. So some of us, 25 signs later, say, Lord, why you didn't tell me? So many signs. So yeah, you should always seek counsel from the Lord. But you know, he's such a good God. Right, Thesha? He's sending letters. He's sending all kind of stuff. And so at some point, you've received your sign. And you still not listening. I don't know. But my sister Marquita, she's holding a class tonight. bit.ly/loving me first. Let me tell you something. If you don't love yourself, you can't work with me. It's going to be hard. So if you're struggling to forgive yourself for the past, if you're struggling to put yourself first, I done told you guys, it's $33 a week, $5 a day. You don't want to miss the opportunity. And then I'm going to ask in a minute who's signing up. Go to bit.ly/lovingmefirst. And really start to figure out. No, it's at 8. I'm doing Money Monday at 7 or 10. But really start to figure out, what is it going to take for you to take yourself to the next level? That's all I got for today. Y'all tap me out. That's it. I'm done.
All right.
I'm done. I'm done. Don't forget the vision board party on 7/28. Free vision board party. Go to bit.ly/Brick Empire to join. I love you guys. I know Wendy, you gotta watch this replay, Wendy. It's gonna bless your life. I want to say it's at 7 p.m. on.
Put some seeds together.
Oh yeah. Okay. Bye, y'all. Love you guys. See you later. Shelly said, "Love you, Troy."
Love you.
Bye, guys. Y'all see my watermelon? Bye.
Make sure.